Welcome everyone. In this tutorial, I will show you how to download any data file from GitHub to directly into R. We will do it in 3 simple steps and get the file link, download the file locally and import it into R. The first thing you need is the raw URL of your file. To do this, go to the GitHub repository where your dataset is stored. For example, from this GitHub repository, I want to download this BMI data1.csv file. So I will open this file and here click on this raw button in the top right corner. This opens the file in plain text format. On this page, simply copy this link from your browser and make sure you copy the raw link, not the normal file link. Now for the next step, let's move to R and download the file. Here the first thing you need is this downloader package. If you don't already have it, install it using install.packages command. Then load it into your session with library command. Next, save the raw link we copied from GitHub into a variable, for example, a raw URL. Then paste your link here. Always remember to put the link into these quotation marks. After that, set a name for your file, for example, file name BMI data1.csv. This tells R what name to use when saving the file to your computer. You can choose any name you like, but always make sure to add the correct extension. If it's a CSV file, use .csv, or if it's a text file, use .txt. Otherwise, the file may not save in the correct format. Now let's actually download the file. We use the function download from the downloader package. Inside this function, the first argument is the link to the file. In our case, it is raw URL, and the second is the file name we just set. When I run this command, R will start downloading the file from GitHub and save it in my working directory. The download speed depends on the size of the file and your internet connection. Once it's downloaded, we can import the data into R using read.csv. Let's check if the data looks correct. On GitHub, we have these data sets with 3 columns: age, weight, and height. If you look at the data set we just imported in R, you can see the same 3 columns and the same values. That means we successfully download the correct data set. Now, what if you want to download multiple files? So instead of repeating same steps again and again, we can automate the process using a for loop function. For example, I also want to download these 3 data sets, BMI data2 and DAG's data1 and data2 CSV from the same repository. To do so, I already have copied these links. Just like before, I go to each file on GitHub, open it, click on the raw button and copy the link. So let's paste them into R and store them in a variable. Run these lines one by one to store the URL in R. The next step is combine all the links into a single vector like this file URL and all the URLs we just created in above step. Now R has a list of all the file links and we want to download. We also need to create another vector for the file names. I like to keep the file names the same as in the repository to avoid any confusion. You can set according to your own choice. Now we can use a simple for loop function. The loop will go through each link, download the file and save it with the correct name. With this approach, even if we have 10 or 20 files, the same loop will handle them automatically. Again, the download speed depends on the file size and the internet connection. If I run this line of a command, files will automatically start downloading one by one. Once the files are downloaded, we can import each one into R using read.csv and check their content just like we did for the first dataset. Now let's take it one step further. We can also download R scripts from GitHub in the same way. For example, in this same repository, there is a script named module1 basic R functions class 2. I want to download this file as well. So the process is same. Open the R script on GitHub, click on the raw button and copy the raw link. Back in R, I create a variable for the link, for example, script URL, and then paste the link here. Then I set a file name. I will name it as rcodes class2.r. Here note that this .r extension, it is a R script, so I will save it with .r extension. So to ensure your files download in right format, you have to provide the correct extension of your file. Now I use the same download function to fetch the script. Download URL equals to script URL, the test file equals to script name. This will save the R script in my working directory with the name I provided. You can see I have successfully downloaded file named as rcode class2.r. So after downloading, I can open the script in RStudio in two ways. And the first way is manual. Press Ctrl O on your keyboard and then select the script file. Second way is type file.edit, then the name of your R script, and it will open your R script directly in the source editor. That's it. In this way, you can download any data file or R script from your GitHub directly into R. If you found this useful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.